Hey, this is Max. Welcome back to another CSR2 video. I am here playing some Elite Showdown with the GR Supra, partly because my GR Supra is fully elite, fully maxed, and therefore it also being the quote apex car, which is the fastest car in the showdown, it gives me an incentive to get into this showdown and mess around a bit. Normally I tend to skip showdowns simply because I don't have the car. If it's not an apex car, I don't really want to just grind some points and then get beat up. So I tend to stick with live. But anytime the GR Supra is the apex car, I tend to jump in and do some showdown simply because, well, I already got the car. It's not that hard a car to drive, and therefore I can actually grind out some points and hopefully get some trophies and get those rewards. The rewards are, in fact, nice, and it's worth it, and that's the main reason most people run Showdown. They like the rewards, they get them, and you know, when you get to all these tokens and you care about your Elite Tuner cars, you're going to want to run these Showdowns. But a lot of frustrations with Showdown as well. If you don't have the Apex car, you're not going to get that far. I started seeing pretty much nothing but GR Supras since about 1200 trophies. I'm at 1600 something. And you're not going to run into anything less than basically a fully max, fully elite Supra. And then it all comes down to how well the guy can launch and shift, right? If he does 6.9s consistently, he's probably going to beat you half the time. But if he's only able to pull 7.0s, then you have a chance of beating him. But again, as the rankings get higher and higher, you know that the opponents they're going to get tougher and tougher. The sad truth is that eventually, when you get to high enough point, you're really not playing players that are, quote, just manually shifting the car. You start to run into things like auto touch, added fusions. If you see cars that doesn't even belong in the showdown, like the a favorite is like the LB Huracan or something. No. The LB Silhouette Huracan tend to pop up. Those are hack cars that gets into these. So that takes some of the joy out of it. You also tend to run into problems with people that sit at the line and the line doesn't move, and therefore you have to hard close the game to move on, and you lose your trophies doing it. That's frustrating as well. But that's all part of the things that you got to deal with Showdown. Unfortunately, it is what the game design has, and there's nothing we can do about that. We just have to roll with it. Okay. Part of the reason I don't do a lot of Showdown is because I personally care more about saving my resources than building every milestone car or every apex car that comes along for the purpose of Showdown. You go broke doing that. Yes, you gain a lot of resources playing Showdown, and certainly you gain a lot of RP, and that's great. But the amount of cars you have to build to maintain a competitive level in Showdown long term is insane. This is why I love it when they actually redo these cars. There are certain cars that get repeated a lot. The Super Snake tend to get used a lot as, quote, apex car. The GR Supra comes along every so often. And there are one or two others, like the Pista Spider, fully elite, tend to be the apex car quite often. So for at least those cars, it might be worth it to build them fully maxed and then just wait for opportunities like this to run around. You know, you can basically blow through a series of Showdown real fast, and then you're all set. And you just kind of keep those cars in the background. Now, to fully elite 3 of these cars for the purpose of Showdown means you're going to do a lot of Showdown just to get there. So it's a double-edged sword. It's nothing's perfect with this game, and resources being what it is, you know, burning resources, etc., is always a problem. All right, so I just took a loss there. Obviously, I didn't launch that well. It was off. So 6.9 versus 7.0, of course, you lose. At this level, where you're like in the 1800s trophies, you really have to get your launch just right. I mean, I'm talking, so it's harder to concentrate at the same time, but generally speaking, I like the Supra partly because it's very easy to drive. As long as you launch it properly, you can get the instant second nitrous and then, you know, just keep shifting it from there. Again, looks like I'm going to take another loss. I'm getting some really good players here that are able to run those really good times. 6.977 versus my 6.988. That 2 losses bumped me down from like 1860s right down to 1790s. And that's kind of how it works when you get to this point in any showdown. You get to a certain trophy range. Guys are better at shifting. They're going to shift and get really good runs on you, and that'll make it very hard for you to hold your win. This one I might win, even though I look like I'm ahead. You need that enough of a margin ahead to actually get it. Some real good guys here. 6.983 is a good run. I managed to squeeze a 6.97 out of it, and therefore I took that win. So now it's competition, right? It's starting to be real competitive. These guys are running 6.7, 6.8. I mean 6.97, 6.98s. And that's, I think 6.95 is some of the best runs you can get out of it, and that requires everything to be absolutely perfect, and I doubt I'm that good, so I'm not looking for that. Oh, I messed up a little bit there, and he's going to take the win. So it's here it's going to be a lot more competition, a lot more back and forth. 0.006 of a second difference, which is cool. This is fun. Even if I'm losing, at least I know this is competition that's actually on the equal level. So really, they click better than I did is what it came down to. All right. So let's try to concentrate a little more. Okay, I'm trying not to bounce the needle here, concentrate on my launch and shifts. Not the best run, but that was certainly a better run than I normally would do. Okay, 6.979. So as you can see, most of the people playing at this level here are running 6.9s consistently. You're not going to get a lot of 7.0s unless they screw up. You know, that happens. Sometimes you launch and you hit that button to shift and it didn't shift. iOS guys have easier time of getting that second instant shift than I can. Then it's a matter of not letting the needle bounce at the end. You want to try to get like 7,200 shifts. That's all hand-eye coordination and reaction of your device. So, you know, a lot of concentration required, so to speak. I'm just going to get to race 50, get that 500 tokens. Then I'm going to call it. This kind of thing start to get you a little more tense and raise your stress level. At some point, you might want to take a break, because grinding like this, like any kind of competition, takes a toll on you if you're not paying attention. Okay, here we go. You're seeing some really good crews. Okay, again, it all comes down to that launch, an instant second, short third, and nitrous. If you don't get that pattern down, you're not going to run 6.9s consistently, and you're always going to be struggling to get that 6.9 runs, and therefore it's going to be a little tougher to get advancement at this level, because getting bounced down in trophies a lot faster. 2 losses bumped me down almost 60, 70 points, because you're going to lose 20, 30 points a shot. You also win probably 20 points a shot. So it really depends on how well the car launches. Again, the better you launch, the better you run. You don't have to launch exactly perfect. I find that slightly early perfect is okay. It doesn't hurt you, as you can see. Slightly late's not as good. That tends to hurt you a little bit. So, but somewhere near perfect is what you want. It still gives you the run that you're going to want out of this. Okay, we're almost there at the 50. Win or lose 50, I'm done. I'm going to take a break. And you guys, you know, let me know what you think about my little GR Supra runs. I might have to take a break earlier. Looks like the computer's telling me, you've been playing too much. No more players for you. You go take a break, Max. Your fingers are all twitchy anyway now, so go take a break. So not finding an opponent happens because not enough players playing at this exact point. So no big deal. Well, if it gives me an option of, oh, no, we found somebody. Okay, if it gives me an option, wow, we have the same trophy count too. Woo. I know this is the kind of thing where, like, you're racing and you go, this is stressful. Messed that up. He's going to get me. I launched too early on that one. I saw it as soon as it launched. So I'm going to get back down to like 1890s. He'll move up. See, 6.969. He did a really good run. So 1899. That's okay. I have 4 more runs to get to that 500 green tokens. I'll just go ahead and now I have a reason to take them. Okay, do the 4 runs because I need them. All right, let's see. Here we go. All right, so launching too early was bad. Let's see if we can get this just right. Looks like he got it slightly better than I did still. So this one I'm going to lose as well. Okay, 6.97, 6.98. So I'm about 10th off on the performance there. We only got like a few more runs. I'll fill up gas when I run out. Let's see. Let's just kind of grind through. Now, I'm not really worried about my trophy count at this point so much as I'm trying to get to that 50 races just to get those green tokens. And what the green tokens will do is it'll give me my chance to get my new Corvette up a little bit. Notice all of a sudden I'm racing all these guys that are all very good, and I'm just taking loss after loss. These guys are all running like 6.9, 6. The matchmaking will do that. Like, you know, you get some easy opponents and all of a sudden matchmaking goes, oh, you've been winning. Maybe I'll get you some tougher opponents. I don't know how they match you, but don't forget, by this point, everybody who's playing knows what they're doing. So you're not going to get somebody who's a total slacker, right? You might get a guy that mistap, like I launch a little early, a little late. Those kind of things happen, but these guys usually, if they're playing at this level, they know what they're doing with the car. That instant second's a little trickier for cars like mine. I mean, not cars, but devices like mine. I think with iOS, that instant second's a little easier. See, here you go, 7.0 run, 6.994. I still got to win. So I lost a few, then I get an easier opponent. Now I'm going to go back and probably get another guy running 6.97s. So, you know, just keep going. The trophy range determines your opponent's pool. So obviously, the higher the trophy range, the smaller the pool, and the more likely you run into an opponent that's really good. Because he's been beating up everybody else to get here too. Okay. All right. How are we doing here? This is my race 50. So win, lose, or draw, I'm done here after this run. Okay. Here we go. Let's go. Make it a good run. And bam. All right. That one was a decent run. Probably 6.98. 99. Oof, that was actually worse than I thought. But, I mean, I still managed to get it through. Got my little trophy there. Back up to 1900. And boom, 50 races. And I'm going to call it here for now because from 50 to 60, I get like 3 blue things. And I need 2,000 to get that 25,000. And that's unlikely at the moment. You know, I'll try again maybe last day or something or whatever. But that is my little showdown run. See, RP's great. Got a bunch of RP. Leveled up. Can't complain at all. And again, when you have the Apex car, it's more fun. It's cool to run it, do the event. But if you don't have the Apex car, again, you won't get this far. And frustration level could be higher. It all depends on the player. I mean, some people don't mind. And some people like me, I don't like frustration, so I do mind, and I don't want to do it. Okay, that is my showdown, Elite Showdown runs. Let me know what you think. If you like the video, leave a like. If you like my channel and like seeing these kind of videos, subscribe, hit the bell, and you'll get those notifications. And as always, thank you for watching my videos. I'll catch you next time.